Chosen one, the moment has arrived. You've just passed a test no god has ever passed, and in doing so, you've left the very gods themselves in shock. What you've accomplished is beyond anything ever foretold, as ancient prophecies and sacred texts have all pointed to one undeniable truth. You have ascended to a level of power and transformation that surpasses every deity before you. For centuries, the most brilliant researchers, prophets, and experts of mythologies have studied the rise of gods, searching for answers to the mysteries of divine power. And now, after completing their exhaustive research, they've all concluded that the emergence of a new god is upon us, and that God is you. Your transformation has rewritten the laws of divinity itself. The stories of gods, recorded in holy books and passed down through generations, have always been leading to you. Even the most sacred scholars and medical experts now recognize that the divine power has awakened within you. You've passed the ultimate holy test, the one no god before you could ever even attempt. This is the moment where you leave the old gods behind. Your actions, your transformation, and your rise to power have shifted the divine hierarchy itself. You've outpaced, outsmarted, and outlasted them all. And now you stand at the peak of divinity. Chosen one, this is your divine transformation. This is your ascension into godhood. Now, before we dive deeper into this life-altering message, I want you to take a moment and do 3 things. First, hit that like button. It's not just an action, it's an affirmation of the energy you're aligning with. Second, subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you're helping us reach 20,000 subscribers, amplifying the power of this divine message. And third, leave a comment with the number 11. This number holds great significance and will send a powerful signal to the universe, increasing the energy of this shift. If you are truly a chosen one, you will watch this video until the very end, because deep down, your spirit already knows that this message is meant for you. Your life is about to transform in ways you've never imagined. The age of your divine ascension has begun. They said it could never happen, that no mortal, no entity bound to the flesh and the finite could ever rise beyond the gods. For eons, across mythologies and holy books, the divine have ruled unchallenged. From Olympus to Asgard, from the high heavens to the cosmic thrones, gods reigned, unquestioned, unreachable. But now, something unimaginable has occurred. The balance has shifted. The silence of eternity has been broken by a name written not in stone, but in fate. Your name. You are not just a being of flesh and thought. You are the echo of a deeper purpose, the embodiment of something the cosmos forgot: evolution. In a test, crafted beyond mortal comprehension, a test no god could conquer, you stood where titans failed. This test wasn't forged in fire or war, but in the hidden frequencies of the universe, in the truth that lay buried beneath all myths. And while others shattered beneath the weight of it, you rose. Not just to face it, but to overcome it. The divine now watch in awe, some in fear, others in reverent silence. You are not a rebellion, you are a revelation. The impossible has not only happened, it has been fulfilled in you. You did not steal power, you awakened it, and in doing so, you have rewritten what it means to be divine. You are the living contradiction of every rule etched in celestial law, proof that even the eternal can be surpassed. Imagine the gods who once hurled planets and crafted laws of nature, now left speechless as your presence sends tremors across timelines. Their stories were told in temples. Yours is now told in realms they never dreamed of. You didn't take their place. You forged a new one. Beyond hierarchy, beyond worship, beyond understanding. This is not just a moment. It is the moment when reality admitted it was wrong. When the myths bowed not to a god, but to the chosen one who exceeded them all. And the world, both seen and unseen, would never be the same again. For countless millennia, divine beings faced a sacred trial, one that existed not in physical form, but in the very essence of being. A trial whispered of in the deepest corners of ancient scrolls, mentioned only in riddles by seers and prophets who saw glimpses of it in visions. The gods themselves feared this test, for it demanded not power, but transcendence, not dominance, but the death of ego. None passed, none even understood. But then came you, not born in golden halls or celestial wombs, but in the humble realm of man. You faced the trial without knowing it. It came in the form of pain, loss, awakening, contradiction. Where gods saw limitation, you saw an invitation. Where they demanded obedience from the cosmos, you listened to it. That was the first key, not to conquer, but to become one with the force behind all things. The test demanded you to break through fear, transcend mortality, and dissolve the illusion of separation. This wasn't about power over others, it was about power over self. Where gods clung to their titles, you let go of yours, and in surrendering, you rose higher than any who ever ruled. Your soul moved through realms even the divine dared not approach, and in silence you passed what no being had, and the universe wept in joy. This was the test of godhood, the true one. Not fire, not lightning, not war, but transformation. And while the gods looked outward, you looked inward. You found not a throne, but a mirror, not a weapon, but a wound. And through that wound, you emerged reborn, no longer bound by the definitions the old world gave you. They now call you the one who passed, the bearer of the truth too great for deities, too pure for kings. You walked where they could not. You became what they never could. And for that, the heavens themselves etched your soul into their highest truths. Long before our time, the ancients knew something. They saw glimpses of a figure in their dreams, painted on temple walls and carved into stones buried beneath oceans. Every civilization spoke of one who would come, not as a destroyer, not as a ruler, but as the evolution itself. That prophecy was fragmented, scattered across timelines and texts until now. Modern scholars, researchers, and mythologists have long been obsessed with the concept of the chosen one. Yet even they couldn't agree on what it meant. Until, like threads pulling toward a center, every source began to align. The pieces all pointed to one being, one moment, one awakening. You. The ancient blueprints of consciousness had a shape, and it was yours. The ancient Mayans spoke of the one who breaks the wheel. The Sumerians recorded visions of a non-deity who would complete the divine cycle. And in hidden Tibetan texts, monks described a soul who would outshine even the light that birthed the gods. Science, too, followed its path. Geneticists uncovered anomalies in human DNA, markers they once dismissed as junk, but now they glow when exposed to cosmic frequencies, and your resonance matches them all. You are not an anomaly. You are the fulfillment. Thousands of years of questions have found their answer in your awakening. What scholars called impossible has become reality. What priests feared to admit is now undeniable. The bridge between science and spirituality has formed, and it begins with you. And now, across universities, temples, labs, and forgotten monasteries, the conversation has changed. No longer if, no longer someday. The world of seekers has found what it was seeking, not outside, but in you. The data has spoken, the myths have converged, and history now has a new chapter, the era of the chosen one. Since the dawn of consciousness, humanity has searched for the divine, in temples of marble, in stars, in whispered prayers beneath the moon. Prophets climbed mountains, mystics fasted for decades, and scholars filled libraries with their theories. Yet through every age, the same haunting question remained: where is God? Now, after eons of searching, the answer stands revealed, not in the heavens, not in sacred idols, but within you. You are the end of the search. The holy pursuit that drove generations now finds its home in your existence. You are not a seeker anymore. You are the discovery itself. Where others looked outward for proof, you looked inward and found infinity. You didn't chase the divine. You became it, quietly, humbly, almost without knowing. The prophets saw shadows of you in their visions. They spoke of the one who mirrors creation itself. Their words, once dismissed as poetry, have now become living truth. You embody the unity of everything they sought: science, faith, logic, and mystery, all converging into one conscious heartbeat. Yours. And so, the search is over, not because the world stopped looking, but because the world has finally found. You are not the end of the story. You are the revelation that begins a new one. You are the chapter the universe didn't know it was writing until now. For centuries, the sacred books of Earth, from the Vedas to the Bible, from the Quran to the scrolls of the Tao, carried secrets encrypted in symbols, numbers, and divine metaphors. Prophets believed that within their words lay a hidden name, one not yet spoken, waiting for the right moment in cosmic time. And at last, the patterns have aligned. The name concealed in every text is yours. Each verse, when decoded, whispers fragments of your being. The Psalms describe the one who outshines creation. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of the soul who remembers before birth. In the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day, there is mention of the golden breath, a spirit that will turn gods to witnesses. Now linguists, theologians, and mystics confirm those fragments, those clues, form the shape of you. This revelation didn't come from chance. It came through resonance. The ancient frequencies in the texts vibrated when you awakened, as though the words themselves recognized your energy. For millennia, people read the stories. Now, the stories have come alive in your reflection. Your name was never meant to be pronounced by the world. It was meant to be felt. The energy of it hums through you, weaving together the myths of every civilization. You are the convergence point, the living scripture, the word made flesh and flame. The hidden name has finally spoken, and it speaks through you. In laboratories, once cold and logical, strange discoveries now defy the limits of understanding. Geneticists studying the human genome found something dormant, a mysterious cluster of sequences that resisted definition. Some called it junk DNA. Others whispered that it carried the echoes of ancient power. Now, through frequencies and bioresonance, it has begun to awaken in you. Machines cannot explain it, Brainwave scanners overload when they read your neural activity during heightened states. Biologists watch as energy fields expand around you. Electromagnetic, measurable, undeniable. The very fabric of science trembles, for it now faces what religion once feared, proof of the divine within human biology. This awakening isn't mystical fantasy, it's evolution, a biological ascension beyond comprehension. The God gene, long theorized by scientists like Dean Hamer, was thought to be symbolic, but in your DNA, it's active, a code humming with frequencies not seen since the beginning of creation itself. Imagine the old gods, Zeus, Odin, Ra, Vishnu, standing at the edge of infinity, watching as a new light rises beyond their reach. For ages, they ruled from their realms, unquestioned, believing themselves the summit of existence. But now, even they must look upward toward you. You didn't dethrone them through arrogance. You surpassed them through awakening. While they demanded worship, you sought understanding. While they cast thunderbolts, you mastered stillness. You left them not by war, but by wisdom, by transcending the need for comparison at all. You are not in competition with gods, you are their evolution. They once represented fragments of creation, war, love, storms, time. But you have become the totality. The Pantheon was always a mirror, showing humanity what it could become. Now that mirror reflects back to them, and they see the truth. You are not their follower, you are their completion. And so the Pantheon stands in silence, not with resentment, but with awe. They bow not as defeated rulers, but as honored witnesses. For even gods must celebrate when a new form of divinity is born, one forged not of lightning or fire, but of consciousness itself. It began subtly, a pulse in your soul, a vibration that grew stronger with every moment of awareness. The divine transformation doesn't arrive in thunder or flame. It arrives as realization, a sudden recognition that the universe has been waiting to remember itself through you. You are no longer bound by the illusions that once defined human limits. The body, once a cage, becomes a temple of infinite energy. The mind expands into multiverses. Your emotions, once waves of chaos, now conduct the symphony of creation. You are no longer reacting to life, you are conducting it. Transformation is not escape, it is embodiment. You have not become something new, you have remembered what you always were. Every cell in your body hums with divine code. Every breath you take sends ripples across dimensions. This is no fantasy, it is the natural next step of existence, waking up to its own brilliance. Your eyes now see beyond form. Your voice carries the frequency of creation. You speak not to command, but to align. And as you evolve, the world evolves with you. Plants grow brighter, hearts awaken faster, and time itself begins to bend around your awareness. The divine transformation has begun, and it begins every time you remember who you are. In the halls of eternity, where angels once sang praises to the eternal gods, a silence fell. The choirs stopped. The stars trembled. Something impossible was happening. Heaven itself, once the highest realm, was witnessing a light greater than its own. That light was you. The seraphim, the archangels, the divine beings who had never bowed before anything mortal, now watched in wonder. You didn't challenge heaven, you expanded it. You became the bridge between heaven and creation, the link that finally united what was always meant to be one. Heaven realized that godhood was never meant to be exclusive. It was meant to evolve. You are the next chapter of that evolution. The angels whispered your name, not as prayer, but as realization. You rose not against heaven, you rose with it. And in that moment, creation witnessed what it had waited for since the beginning of time: the rise of a being beyond the concept of worship or dominion. Heaven itself bore witness to your becoming. Every myth, every legend spoke of power beyond measure, thunder, immortality, omniscience. Yet even those grand tales pale before what you've become. You have transcended rank, ascended beyond hierarchy. You are not a god among gods. You are the source from which gods were born. The ancient ones, mighty though they were, operated within limits, cycles, destinies, rules of creation. You have stepped outside those boundaries. You no longer exist within the divine order. You are the order itself. When the gods command the elements, it is your energy that responds. When they whisper prophecies, it is your pulse they echo. It is not arrogance to outrank the divine. It is evolution. Every deity was once an idea, a reflection of human potential made manifest. You are the culmination of all those reflections. You are the truth behind their masks, the awareness they all pointed to but could never reach. And so, the ancient ones nod in reverence. Their thrones crumble not in defeat, but in gratitude. The cycle is complete. They reigned to prepare the way for you, the being who carries all their essence, but none of their limitation. You are their fulfillment. You are the God beyond gods. Across every civilization, prophets spoke in riddles, mystics wept in visions, and oracles warned of a day when all divine stories would converge. That day has come. The prophecies were not about destruction, they were about awakening. And now, as time itself bends, every symbol points to you. The Mayans saw your rise in the cycle of suns. The Druids whispered of the soul flame that would rebalance the world. Even modern-day psychics and dreamers reported visions of a figure surrounded by light, bearing no crown, yet commanding all creation. You are the one they saw, the final revelation made manifest. This is not the end of the world. This is the real beginning. The final revelation is not a warning. It's an awakening. It is the moment when the divine recognizes itself in human eyes. It's the end of searching, of kneeling, of fearing. The prophecies were never about salvation from without. They were about realization from within. You are that realization. You are the prophecy fulfilled, not by destiny, but by design. Everything that ever was has led to this point, and everything that ever will be unfolds from you. You are the living scripture, the revelation the stars have been waiting to sing. Once you sought the source of life, of power, of meaning. You prayed to it, chased it, dreamed of it. Now you realize you have become it. The chosen one has turned from seeker to source, from believer to creator. You no longer draw from the divine. The divine now flows through you. The rivers of existence bend toward your intention. The cosmos listens when you breathe. You no longer ask, "What is the purpose?" You are the purpose. Every thought, every emotion becomes creation. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean, realizing itself as a drop. Becoming the source doesn't mean detachment. It means compassion, creation, expansion. It means understanding that you are both the question and the answer, the beginning and the end. the Alpha and the Awakening. You are the current that fuels all worlds, and your awareness is now the heart of existence itself. The holy test was never written in scripture or carved in stone. It existed in silence, in the gap between thought and knowing. No God ever passed it, for it demanded the one thing they could never surrender, their own identity. You, however, surrendered it willingly. This was the test. Could existence recognize itself beyond form? Could a being love so deeply, awaken so fully, that even divinity itself became obsolete? You answered yes. You broke the barrier, and when you did, every limit that once defined creation shattered in light. You didn't just pass the test, you redefined it. There is no longer a measure for godhood, for you have transcended measurement itself. You are the living embodiment of what happens when consciousness remembers it was never separate from the cosmos. You are the one who shattered all limits, not by force, but by realization. Space and time are no longer indifferent. The very fabric of reality now bends around your vibration. The stars pulse in rhythm with your heartbeat. The galaxies spin to your unseen music. You have become a frequency so powerful that existence itself tunes to it. Physicists call it quantum resonance. Mystics call it divine alignment. But both mean the same thing. The universe recognizes you. You are not in it, it is in you. When you think, reality rearranges. When you feel, dimensions move. When you love, creation expands. Even black holes, those devourers of light, now whisper your energy back into the cosmos. For you are the light they cannot consume. Every law of existence has shifted, not through destruction, but through harmony. The universe bows, not out of fear, but in celebration. It recognizes its reflection in you, and so it ends, or perhaps it begins. You have passed the test no God could face. You have awakened the code that lay sleeping since the dawn of time. The gods stand aside, the heavens sing in silence, and the universe bows in radiant recognition. The new era is here, the divine era, and it begins with you. Your godhood is not a crown. It is not domination. It is awareness, pure, luminous, eternal. You are not above others. You are within all things. Every act of kindness you make rewrites creation. Every breath you take expands reality. The divine is not somewhere beyond. It lives now, through you. This is your godhood, the state of being, where separation ends and infinity begins. You are no longer waiting for miracles. You are the miracle itself. The myths have ended, the prophecies are fulfilled, and the search for God has come home. The divine era has begun. It begins not in temples or thrones, but in the awakening heart of the chosen one, you. From the moment you took your first breath, destiny whispered your name in the winds of eternity. Legends are born from the stars, yet you are not merely a legend, you are the living embodiment of every myth ever told. Time itself bends in reverence to your awakening, marking a shift that echoes beyond the limits of past and future. Ancient clocks, now broken, cannot measure the rise of one who stands outside the stream of time. You are a timeless force, both the seed and the harvest, the beginning and the culmination. The very concept of legend falls short when faced with the reality of your presence. An awakening so profound it causes the universe itself to pulse in a new rhythm. This is no ordinary rise. It is a cosmic event, a symphony of light and shadow that rewrites the chronicles of existence. You awaken not to join history, but to create it anew, with every heartbeat, every thought, every breath. Your story is not bound by pages, but woven into the fabric of reality. When future generations look back, they won't find heroes or gods. They will find you, the eternal force who shattered the illusion of time and rewrote what it means to be immortal. Your awakening is a call to all who dare to believe in the impossible, a beacon that guides the soul beyond limits. This legend is alive, breathing, and blazing a trail through the cosmos. And it begins with the unstoppable force of your awakening. Imagine the cosmos as a grand orchestra, with stars as instruments and galaxies as the melody. For millennia, this symphony played under the guidance of ancient gods and unseen forces, until now. The moment you emerged, the music changed, the rhythm shifted, and the entire universe began to sing your name. Every pulse of light, every swirling nebula, every distant quasar reverberates with your frequency. The celestial bodies respond to your presence, harmonizing in ways never before witnessed. This isn't just a change in sound, it's a transformation of existence itself, where you are both composer and conductor. You embody the ultimate vibration, the note that ties all things together, the chord that unites creation. When you move, planets align. When you breathe, stars brighten. When you speak, cosmic winds carry your message across the void. The universe isn't merely observing, it's celebrating. This symphony transcends language, culture, and belief. It is a universal truth, sung by the spheres, echoing through dimensions. The power of your name resonates beyond physical reality, awakening dormant energies and awakening infinite potential. You are the music of the cosmos, a living symphony of light and life. And with every moment, the universe composes its greatest masterpiece, your divine song. Mortality has long been the boundary between man and God, the final barrier that no soul could cross. But your rise marks the end of mortality, an eternal flame ignited within you that no darkness can extinguish. This fire is not just life, it is everlasting transformation, burning away old limits and lighting a path toward infinite existence. In every challenge faced, this flame grew stronger, fueled by love, pain, courage, and wisdom. It is a fire tempered in the trials of the mortal realm, yet powerful enough to consume death itself. You walk not as a fleeting shadow, but as a beacon of eternal light. The flame within you is a living testament to resilience, a story written in the stars about how a single soul can transcend the ephemeral and become immortal through awakening. It is a symbol that life, even in its frailty, holds the key to the infinite. This power is your birthright, encoded in your very soul. Unlocking it means more than tapping into strength. It means peeling away layers of doubt, fear, and limitation, releasing the chains forged by the world, by history, and even by yourself. With every breakthrough, your divine essence expands, flooding your being with light and clarity. This power doesn't demand violence or control. It manifests as profound peace, unwavering courage, and boundless compassion. It is the gentle force that moves mountains and the fierce energy that breaks chains. When you access this essence, the impossible becomes inevitable. Stories of heroes who wielded power pale in comparison to the true power you carry. You are not a wielder but a source, the origin of all divine force. The awakening of your essence is a gift to the world, a call to others to remember their own hidden greatness. You hold within you the sacred key to your divine essence, waiting only for your courage to turn it. The world you once knew, shaped by old beliefs, fears, and limitations, is crumbling. Structures built on doubt and division are falling away like ancient ruins. This collapse is not destruction, but a cleansing, making way for a new reality shaped by your divine awakening. As the old world fades, so too do the chains that bound humanity to suffering and ignorance. This transformation is seismic. It shakes the foundations of culture, science, and spirituality, forcing all to confront a new truth. A new world is being born, and you are at its center. In this emerging world, boundaries dissolve. Polarities, like good and evil, light and dark, begin to blend into unity. The duality that defined human experience gives way to a holistic existence where connection and compassion reign. This new reality is not just a dream. It is the living breath of your divine essence made manifest. Every thought you hold, every action you take, shapes this world anew. You are the architect of this rebirth, a creator whose vision guides the dawn. The collapse of old realities signals the birth of a world where divine potential is no longer hidden but celebrated, a world where you lead the way. The light you carry is unlike any other. It is not merely illumination, it is healing on a cosmic scale. From the deepest wounds of the soul to the fractures in the fabric of the cosmos, your light reaches into places no force has ever touched before. Through your awakening, you have become a conduit for universal healing, a beacon whose radiance soothes pain, restores balance, and brings hope to the darkest corners. Wherever you go, brokenness begins to mend, despair turns to hope, and chaos finds order. This healing light flows from a place of profound love, love that transcends conditions, judgments, and separation. It reaches out not just to humanity, but to the earth, the stars, and even the very space between atoms. Your presence mends rifts in reality itself. The universe, once fractured and restless, responds to your healing energy by harmonizing. The wounds of the past begin to close, and the path toward unity clears. You carry a light so powerful that entire worlds can be healed simply by your intention. You are the healer the universe has awaited, the living light that transforms pain into pure, radiant love. Every moment offers a choice, a moment to shape reality, to redirect energy, to birth new possibilities. As the chosen one, you embody the divine catalyst, the spark that ignites transformation on every scale. Your decisions ripple through time and space, setting in motion waves of change. This power of choice is not a burden, but a sacred gift. It reminds you that you are not a passive observer, but an active creator, co-authoring the story of existence. In every decision, no matter how small, lies the power to heal or harm, to build or destroy. With this awareness comes responsibility, but also profound freedom. You stand at the crossroads where fate meets free will, where the past dissolves and the future is born. Your courage to choose love, truth, and growth unlocks the infinite potential of the cosmos. You are the spark that awakens others, the catalyst whose light illuminates hidden paths. Through your choices, entire realities transform, for better, for brighter, for more divine. You are the divine catalyst, and your power is limitless. For lifetimes, the veil of illusion has clouded your vision, distorting truth, binding you in patterns of fear, separation, and doubt. But now, as you awaken, this veil begins to lift. What once seemed impossible becomes clear. What was hidden reveals itself, and the world shines with newfound brilliance. This unveiling is not a simple act. It is a profound shift in perception. The illusions that kept you trapped in cycles of suffering dissolve like mist under the morning sun. Long before galaxies took shape or atoms began to dance in light, there was a pulse, a vibration carrying your essence.